Pete Carroll's preached nonstop about competition since becoming the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm paraphrasing, but he said something like everything the Raiders do is going to be competition. I believe him. He's brought in some guys this offseason like quarterback Geno Smith and running back Ashton Jeanty that are obviously going to start. And of course, there are some guys already here like edge rusher Max Crosby and left tackle Colton Miller that are obviously going to start. However, he also brought in some players to compete for whatever role they can get. I know we're only in June OTAs right now, but Carroll isn't waiting until training camp in late July to start these competitions. He's starting them right now, and you can tell by the way the reps are being divided. Here are the competitions we'll see from here into training camp. The offensive line is the one unit the Raiders have to get right to go anywhere. Last year with Luke Getsy as the offensive coordinator, they started off the season with the wrong guys in the starting lineup and couldn't run the ball. They had Andre James starting over Jackson Powers Johnson at center. Despite winning the Remington Award for Best College Center, they didn't play Powers at center when James first got hurt. The Raiders didn't even start him at guard until left guard Cody Whitehair got hurt. Dylan Parham was at right guard, DJ Glaze was at right tackle, and of course Miller was at left tackle. No wonder why they couldn't run the ball to save their lives. They got much better when Powers took over at center for 6 games. He went back to left guard for the last 3 games though. Jordan Meredith took over at left guard when Powers was at center, and that was the offensive line's best stretch of play last year. He went back to the bench when Powers went back to left guard though. The Raiders need to start the season off right this year, so they got their competition started in OTAs already. Well, they're not even in pads yet. I really hope they have this unit up and functioning like a well-oiled machine by August. Miller and Powers are the only ones that have their positions locked down. Everyone else is competing, so I'll start out with Meredith versus Parham. When Meredith was inserted into starting lineup last year, he played well. If he would have had enough snaps, Pro Football Focus would have had him as a top 10 guard in the NFL. He can run block in the zone and power gap scheme. He can pass block. He can do it all. At least he could last year. Again, the Raider offensive line was at its best with Powers at center, Meredith at left guard, and everyone else in their normal places. Right now, he's the starter at left guard in OTAs with Parham, who was just moved from right guard to left guard, competing. Parham is a scrapper, but he's a little on the small side to be a guard. He's even too small to be a guard in the zone blocking scheme. He struggles with the bull rush of bigger, stronger interior defensive linemen too. I don't remember if he was drafted to be more of a center, but he is more of a center. He can't move there now though because Powers is there, so now he finds himself in the battle for the left guard spot with Meredith. Who do you think wins this battle? Now we go over to the right guard spot where Alex Kappa has the inside track to start. Kappa had a bad year last year, struggling with injuries with the Cincinnati Bengals. Actually, I'm not too sure if he ever really found his footing in Cincinnati. He was really good with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers though. GM John Spytek was there at the time, so when Kappa became a free agent, he went out and got him this offseason to see what he can get out of him. Kappa could actually do the Raiders some good if he can stay healthy. Being a Spytek guy doesn't guarantee him anything though. He has competition coming from 2023 third round pick Caleb Rogers. That competition is set up already because he's getting work with the ones. Rogers is a lot like Kappa, as they're both 312-pound former tackles Spytek drafted to play guard because they both have short arms. If Kappa still has it and can stay healthy, he's a good guy to have out there. If Rogers proves he's ready, he'll be a good guy to have out there. If Rogers loses his battle, I would seriously consider moving him to left guard and see if he can take that spot. Let's just get the best 5 guys out there. DJ Glaze is the guy the Raiders have as their starting right tackle now, but he has competition too. It seemed that Thayer Munford was finally going to get his chance to start last year, but he injured not one but both hands in training camp. Then Glaze, who was drafted as more of a guard than a tackle, had to come in and assume the right tackle position. How did he do? Well, I'll say he did okay. He only gave up 3 sacks, but he had a tight end and running back chipping on his side on the regular. It really wasn't pretty when they had him going one-on-one with good edge rushers, but hey, there's always that big jump a player makes from year 1 to year 2. At the same time, I thought Munford should have been the starting right tackle since he got here in 2022. He should have at least got it in 2023, and of course he was injured in 2024. However, if Glaze shows enough of a jump to year 2 where it's close, he's going to be the starting right tackle. He's only finished 1 year of his rookie contract so far, while Munford is in the contract year. Guys tend to really bring it in their contract year, so we have year 2 jump versus contract year in this one. Very interesting. We have a receiver competition that broke out in OTAs too. This one might be a little further along because you can run routes and catch passes with or without pads. When the Raiders took Dante Thornton in the 4th round, they were very happy because they thought they had a steal. Now that they've had him in OTAs, they're even higher on him. Offensive coordinator Chip Kelly said Dante is unique in terms of he's just a hair under 6'5" and he ran a 4.3. There aren't a lot of human beings on this planet that do that. Then he later said, sometimes you get a big guy like that, but he can't really run, so they can stay with him. So you add the speed element to him, his ability to sink his hips, his ability to get in and out of cuts. With Jacoby Myers in the slot and Jack Bech at one outside receiver, it looks like Thornton's going to compete with Trey Tucker for the other outside receiver spot. This is a competition to keep an eye on, because Tucker's a speedster too, but he hasn't had a quarterback that can get him the ball deep. Thornton's getting reps with the ones already, so has he found his next DK Metcalf? We still have mini camp, we still have training camp. We'll see how it all shakes out. On the defensive side of the ball, there's a battle going on at corner. There have been a couple of twists and turns to it too. We knew competition was coming when the Raiders took Darian Porter with Jacorian Bennett and Eric Stokes already here. Stokes balled out for the Green Bay Packers as a rookie in 2021, but he's been slowed down by injuries lately. Stokes can play when healthy, but Carroll loves him some Porter. With his size and length, he reminds Carroll of Richard Sherman, who was also a receiver that moved to corner in college. Add 4.3 wheels to the equation, and Carroll couldn't resist. OTA started with Bennett at his spot, with Stokes on the other side and Porter getting a few reps at the ones. Now with Stokes out there with Porter. Anytime I've heard anything about Porter, it's been good. They talk about how he learns quickly and how he doesn't make the same mistake twice. I'm starting to think he's going to start, and Porter and Bennett will battle it out on the other side. I actually like Bennett and couldn't wait to see what he can do for the Raiders this year. If he loses that battle, he does have some slot experience, so maybe they can move him in there. Man, it's only OTAs and we got a lot of competitions already heating up. Thornton took OTAs by storm, and again, you can run routes and catch passes with or without pass, so it means a little bit more than the high contact positions. That's how Porter crept up on his competition at corner. As far as the high contact positions go, they're just setting the competitions up with the offensive linemen. They gave Rodgers reps with the ones to set that competition up with Cobb. The Raiders are doing the same thing with Meredith and Parham. Glaze and Munford too. I can't wait for minicamp and training camp. Thank you for watching. See you next time.